Strange Pictures is so much better than Strange Houses, but for all the wrong reasons. And I half love it and half hate it for it. There's something beautiful with the book having very redundant writing, yet is incredibly fast-paced that feeds the attention-seeking part of my brain. It's an experience that lasts just a few hours, yet there are so many revelations that brought completely new context to a previous scene. You know, like a twist, and not really bad ones like in Strange Houses. For those who have not seen my video on Strange Houses, I essentially said how the concept was incredibly fresh, with examining these pictures being an incredibly fun way to pass the time, but then the actual plot starts being bad and had a terrible ending. Strange Pictures has the complete opposite issue, where the images suck ass and are boring, but they're supplemented by these blog posts and shifting perspectives that, while not an original idea at all, were still fun to scrutinize. There's so much focus on drawings done by characters, and most of them feel forced and gimmicky, such as this apartment building. Can you see that? Look at that. Can you see? Okay, that one's the worst picture, but this section of the book was one of the best, with the last couple of pages completely recontextualizing the fundamental relationship between our characters. Please, I really want to spoil the book now. Please let me. It's so much better than Strange Houses because the mystery is actually solvable beforehand without nonsensical knowledge, albeit some of the details are still ham-fisted leaps in logic and don't make sense to me, but it's still so much better. Please read it. It's fun, I promise, unless the admittedly steep price tag puts you off. That's fair. The prologue features an image drawn by an 11-year-old girl who just killed her physically abusive mother. It was the picture in the thumbnail. Technically, it's before the table of contents, so its irrelevance is deceptive, especially because section 1 is about two college students talking about a blog from the late 2000s. The blog is titled "Oh No, Not Raku," written by Raku, which is a pseudonym for the author, but then he uses his wife's real name. The wife's name is Yuki. This is super important. I can't believe I forgot to mention that in the blog, which is really weird. It suddenly ended though. Raku's last post, an anguished cry at his realized betrayal by the one he loved most. College Student 2 tells his senior College Student 1 about the blog and how it ends, referencing some ominous secret in the drawings that his wife drew while pregnant before she dies during childbirth. How she knew she was going to die. Dude, I have no idea if this camera's focusing. I really hope this one is. You got like a baby. You got like a little kid, and then you got these three. They're really weird. You got, I think that's praying old woman. One of them's a man and one of them's a woman. Section 2 is about a mom, Naomi, and her son, Yuta. Their financial situation is poor, and the mom constantly asks Haruto, the boy's father, for advice. Haruto is a picture on an altar though, so he has trouble responding. But the random person in a gray hoodie keeps following them home, and it's really freaking her out. I really don't want to spoil this part, so please go read this book. This is the section with a really good reveal and the really bad picture, so please. Yuta disappears one morning, Naomi reminiscing about that random dude. She calls his daycare. They haven't seen him. And then the daycare is concerned that Naomi didn't call the police. They start theorizing why, potentially bringing up how Naomi may have physically hit Yuta, causing him to run away. No! My own mother hit me. I would never do that to him. How dare you accuse me of that? She says more violently than any slap could convey. Some stupid picture shenanigans that don't make any sense later. Naomi knows where Yuta is. He's at his mother's grave. His birth mother. The name on the tombstone reads Yuki Kano. There was another Yuki in this story that gave birth, now that I think about it. So who's Naomi? Yuki's mother-in-law. Haruto's mom. Summary pause. Time to complain. Section 1 speculated Naomi's existence through Haruto's blog post. Haruto's Raku, by the way, if you couldn't figure that out, keep up. Coincidences don't exist in Uketsu's books. Everything just works out perfectly, by the way. Anyways, how College 2 deduces her existence is stupid. I'll write the passage now. Anything suspicious? He concluded that because Haruto told his wife about starting the blog, the person who recommended privacy must be a different person. And this was the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You know what else could have happened? His wife sees him uploading his own picture onto the internet, tells him not to, and then offers to draw him. And then that's just as likely a situation given the information that we are told with that wording. What the fuck? Here's another passage about cake. Read it. Read it. Yeah. College student 2 said that if he ate 2 slices and the remainder is 4, there must be at least 2 other people that had 1 slice each, so that in total 8. Or he had 2, Yuki had 0, and the remainder's 4 because that's what I thought initially, and that is also a possibility. This is what I mean by logic jumps that frustrate me, but just ignore it and think about it later. Actually, don't think about it at all. That hurts your brain. Section 3, the murder of a male high school art teacher. Oh God, it's so simple what happens, yet so complicated to summarize, so I won't. There's 3 suspects: a female high schooler in the art club, the teacher's friend, and the teacher's wife. All of them dislike the victim, according to testimonies given to the police. But then the high schooler privately reveals a secret admiration turned attraction towards her teacher to an independent journalist investigating the case. She started spending time with the victim's family in the time since his death to combat their shared loneliness at this new hole in their hearts. New pause. This section was when I convinced myself that I figured out everything. I love how the story is written into these seemingly disjointed segments, but any reader with a semblance of a brain knows they all have to interconnect somehow. I think that mystery, the who's who of everything, is incredibly entertaining because it's something we can actually theorize prior to the reveals. I loved it when the college student pulls out a business card and her name is Yuki. I was like, I fucking knew it. And it was at that moment that I asked how old Naomi's son was and was like, is the age difference 6 years? Like with that couple in the first section. Ew. A 13-year-old and a 19-year-old. They were actually 15 and 21, and I was right. Still yucky, don't do it. So Yuki killed her teacher because he was never gonna leave his wife. And that destroys her internally. Her now using his son as a disgusting stand-in. Much later in life though, Haruto realizes that Yuki betrayed him, understanding why his mom probably killed her somehow according to this illustration. But wait, Yuki's parents are both alive. She couldn't have killed her mom when she was 11. I had forgotten that detail. So caught up with my theory. So who was the girl in the prologue? And then the independent journalist was killed. The one that interviewed Yuki. The teacher's wife bashed his head in for the sake of her son Haruto's happiness. The teacher's wife's name was Naomi. Naomi's mom was the one that abused her, and she ended that. The remainder of the book is more so the aftermath of catching killers and tweening between each sections. The ending didn't matter at all, I promise. There's nothing I'm hiding about the ending. I really did enjoy this book far more than Strange Houses. The reveals were surprising and consistent with established characterizations. But let me complain one more time. How the hell did Naomi kill her husband? The timeline makes no sense. It's established he died after dawn, which would be like 4:30 to 5 a.m. But then her alibi is at 6, which would normally be okay, but he was killed on top of a mountain, and to climb it, it takes 2 hours, so in order to come down, it must be at least an hour. Therefore, this alibi is impossible. Am I missing something? Moreover is the leap between Ono Raku to Haruto Kono as an anagram. How the hell did College Student 2 figure that out? That anagram could also become Author Conan and still be right. I came up with that. Like Jim Rion, the translator, himself admitted that the Japanese was really difficult to translate. But I already know the Japanese original is even dumber. The lack of explanation is it doesn't matter. Thinking too hard is pointless when the author is just whipping you around his envisioned story. There's no message at the end to consider, no philosophies to question. It's just pure entertainment, trying to be more clever than it actually is. And I still enjoyed it. I loved theorizing. I loved my brief puzzling of pieces, knowing that answers would be given soon. It just keeps moving the mystery along, constantly pulling you onto the next part of the story and keeping you entertained. I respect that far more than trying to pull a twist on the last page. Oh, is that what you think? Because I've been hiding the ending from you. This potential ruiner of an engaging story. No, actually, it's just Yuta hanging out. No, nothing stupid here, thankfully. Thanks for watching until the end. I've been reading more books recently, so you probably will see another short video as I continue putting other scripts off. I'm gonna try to commit to something longer though, so look forward to that.